Sorry. All right. Well, good afternoon. Welcome. My name is Steve Whitacre. I am the founder and president of Trinity College of Louisville, and I'm one of the pastors at Sovereign Grace Church of Louisville. And it is my pleasure to welcome you to this webinar entitled Why Go to a Small College? This webinar is really a follow-up on last month's webinar in which we discussed why go to college. We talked about the big picture of why college is helpful, necessary, might be wise for some students. And in this particular webinar, I want to talk today, try to answer a different question. Why attend a small college, especially a college as small as Trinity College? Now, if you are new to Trinity College, it's important that you know that Trinity College is an educational startup. We began last year in the fall of 2022. We graduated our first class of the bridge year this past spring in 2023. We have our second class underway right now. The bridge year is one aspect of Trinity College. It is a one-year certificate program designed to serve students by preparing them for whatever they're going to do next. We want to equip them with conviction and character and the courage to go on to the marketplace, go on to further education, go on to vocational training, whatever it is they have in store, what the Lord has in store for them. We want to equip them for that future. And in this webinar, I want to talk about this. What are the ways that Trinity College is best equipped to prepare students for that future? Now, some students and some parents have asked about, like, this seems really small. How do we think about an educational startup? How do we think about a college that's just beginning? And I think there's a few ways to get at that. First, the reasons for attending a larger school pretty much suggest themselves. Larger schools they're gonna sell this in their promotional material on their website. You're gonna see lots of reasons that they're gonna offer. And most of those reasons, I think, center around the amenities that those larger colleges have to offer. I know of a college that boasts that every building on its campus that students will set foot in has either been built or comprehensively renovated since 2018. And that's only 6 years ago. So that's a lot of construction. I saw some promotional material from another college that boasted how many sushi bars their various dining halls had. Now, they weren't just boasting how many dining halls they had. They were highlighting the number of sushi bars in all their dining halls, which gives you some idea of the diversity, I suppose, of culinary opportunities that this particular college had. One campus that I saw recently promised to pair you up with a personal trainer, and they wanted to, I guess, foster your athletic health alongside your academic progress. We could do this all day. Lots of colleges are offering lots of amenities. There's two problems with this, two things you should think about. If you're considering a larger college and looking at all of these amenities, first, there is an amenities arms race among colleges. The college landscape is very competitive. They want you to attend their college because your attendance there means not only your tuition funds, but if they are receiving any federal funds, then the more enrollment they have, the more money they get from the government as well. So it's not only that they're getting money from you, they want our tax money in that, our government funding. So this arms race means that colleges are having to work harder and harder to outdo each other to attract students. And so they are focusing more and more on the student experience. Now, second, the other thing to consider is there's an old adage in evangelism that kind of applies here. In evangelism, you'll sometimes hear people warn that what you win people with, you win them to. And that's as true in the academy as it is in evangelism. If college is about crafting the perfect college experience, then students are more likely to come for that experience than for the academics, for the studies. And if the study gets in the way of the experience, which one is more likely to give, right? I think you can see where that's headed. And so that college experience becomes the preeminent aspect of being on campus for some students. Now, some students might throw a flag here and say, well, wait, I'm attracted to a larger school because it has more majors, because I am looking for a variety of options. I'm not even sure what I want to do yet. I want to explore a little bit. Great. Now, I'm not trying to say here that people shouldn't attend a bigger college, or that it's bad to attend a bigger college. That can be great. There's good reasons to do that. But I want to try to make the case that there are some advantages to attending a small school, even a school as small as Trinity College. I want to give you a couple of reasons, and I'm going to organize these under 4 headings that all begin with C. Very convenient. First is class size. Trinity College is a small school, which means we have small classes. Our small classes mean several things. It means we can approach each class differently, first and foremost. Our classes tend to be Socratic style classes. What that means, if you're not familiar with it, is in a conventional classroom, you'll come to class and a professor will lecture for a bit, talk about the subject matter, and then you'll go home and you'll do your homework. You'll do further reading, write a paper, work on a group project, whatever it is. You'll turn that in. You'll come back in for another lecture. Well, a Socratic classroom tries to flip that on its head. And let's begin. Let's do the homework first. Let's assign some reading. Let's assign a project. You're going to go home. You're going to work on that and then come to class ready to discuss. So there's still some lectures that we have at Trinity College. There's some things that our professors need to impart to our students. But a lot of our class time will be spent engaged in Socratic dialogue. The professors are leading discussions rather than just tell you what to think. We want to ask questions, have a discussion, and let's work our way together towards the lesson that we're trying to learn in that particular class. So Socratic classes, I think they're a lot more interesting, a lot more fun for students, a lot more engaging. And I think they also are a more natural way of learning because students are much more engaged in that process and get to participate. Second, so first C then is classroom. Second is commitment. Second C here is commitment. All right. What I mean by commitment is this. Our small class sizes mean that everyone's participation matters. In a larger class setting at a larger college, it could be pretty easy to sit in the back row and not participate, to sit with your computer open and do email or read the news or check out social media or whatever else and not really be engaged in the lecture. Certainly seen plenty of that even in my day as a student. It also means you could probably just skip class altogether and nobody would necessarily know or care. In a small college, our small classes means that everyone's participation matters. And therefore, students at Trinity College feel a real sense of ownership. They're highly engaged in the class setting because they look around and they think, somebody's got to say something. It might as well be me. And they jump right in, they go for it. And that sense of participation, that sense of my contribution here is needed and is valued. I think that raises the stakes in the classroom and makes for a much better classroom experience. Again, students are not just sitting in passively taking in a lecture, they're actively engaged in a discussion, participating along the way. It's very encouraging to see. Third C then is cost, right? So we've looked at classroom, commitment, cost. Now, Trinity doesn't have to pay for a rock climbing wall or a sushi bar. So Trinity students don't have to pay for those amenities they aren't going to use either. One of the downside of this amenities arms race among colleges is it's expensive. Um, some things pay for themselves. So if you're part of a major school and they have a big football program, sure, those sports programs will pay for themselves. But most of what goes into what's known as student experience, um, really nice dorms, things like a rock climbing wall, all of your the campus amenities, that sort of thing. It adds up. It's expensive, and somebody's got to pay for it, and that's going to be the student. And that's it's one of the reasons that college tuition costs have been skyrocketing over the last few decades. College has become exceedingly expensive. And depending on which study you read, you'll find, well, it's very large percentages. The studies will vary a little bit, but a huge percentage of students graduate with student debt. I've read that it can be as high as $70,000, 70%, that as high as 70% of students will graduate with student debt. And that among those, many students, I think the average is something like $65,000 in student debt. That's average, which means some students will have a lot more. And that's at a time when students are entering the workforce at their lowest earning potential, least able to pay that back, and would most like to be able to use those funds to do other things, like get married, start a family, buy a house, that sort of thing. So it's really not ideal for a student to graduate with a ton of student debt. So our goal at Trinity College is that students would be able to graduate debt free. We work very hard to keep our tuition very manageable and very reasonable. And so we are planning for the 2024 2025 school year. The annual tuition will be $5,750, $5,750 for the entire year if you go full time taking all 5 classes of the bridge year. There's no additional fees to that. So once you paid that, you're good to go. And you might just want to budget maybe a couple $100 for books. It shouldn't be too much. So plan on that. You'll probably want a computer. If you move here, you might need a car. There's no additional expenses though. We don't have any hidden fees. We're not doing anything like that. And students have the option of paying upfront at the beginning of the year for a 5% discount on their tuition, or can pay in 2 installments by semester, or can work on a payment plan and pay a portion of their tuition each month. We're happy to prorate it. So we can do it any which way, and I'm happy to talk more about that if you have questions about that. I don't think I said this at the beginning, by the way. If you have any questions or comments, there is a chat and a Q&A thing down at you should see that at the menu at the bottom of Zoom. And so you can put those in there. I'll see them and I'll either answer them as I go, or I'll just consolidate them all and answer them at the end. So I haven't seen any yet, but if any come, I'll be happy to give it a shot. Now, finally, 4th C is church. 4th C is church. Class size, commitment, cost, church. I think one of the benefits of a small school, and I don't know if this is true of every small school, but I can tell you for sure that it's true of Trinity College, is that one of the benefits of Trinity College is we are very committed to our students' participation in church. And not just participation only, but what I mean by that is the active participation that results in discipleship, that results in service to the church, that results in involvement, growth. Um, I think that any Christian college, every Christian college probably, will say that they want their students involved in the local church. Good. I think that's wonderful. And I've talked to some leaders at some major Christian colleges. Just recently, I was at a conference for Christian educators. I was talking with other college presidents and provosts, and I was encouraged to hear that every Christian college I know of is committed to their students being involved in the local church. They want their students to attend local church regularly and faithfully and benefit from all that entails. But in asking them about that, how they intend to help students do that and encourage that practice in their students, I was surprised at how vague those plans often are. And I think it's a wonderful endeavor, a wonderful desire for students to attend. But keep in mind, if you pair that with this amenities arms race, colleges are very busy putting on activities for their students in the evenings and on weekends. And in practice, this means that it can often be very difficult for students to be involved in their local church because they're so busy on campus. There's just so much happening on campus. And that's great. That's great. Some students are all about that. They want to have this student experience. That's fantastic. However, as Christians, it's worth thinking, what place does involvement in the local church have in our college education? What role does discipleship play? And what are you as a college student doing to seek out, to pursue discipleship through your local church, to be involved in a small group, to be involved in a college or singles ministry, to take advantage of Sunday classes or other training opportunities that might exist, maybe get involved in counseling ministry or evangelism ministry, even serve in children's ministry. So lots of different ways that college students can be involved in the church, but it will require a degree of commitment. And so at Trinity College, we make space in our students' calendar, in our academic calendar, for students to be involved in their local church. We actually require it. We do things like at Trinity College every week, we're involved in cleaning the building. And so it's a way that we serve. The classroom that we use has these double glass sliding doors that open up right onto the sanctuary and the lobby, where kind of the main entrance, people are coming and going all the time. And so our students are bumping into church members and pastors' college students throughout the week, forming those relationships that help contribute to a sense of community in the local church. And we think that's incredibly valuable for students. It's helped accelerate their growth in godliness. We've been really pleased to see how that has worked out. And so being involved in a small college creates that opportunity. So it creates the opportunity for small class size, creates the opportunity through commitment, through low cost, and through active church involvement. Now, big picture, here's what Trinity College can do. Trinity College, because it's small, because it's attentive to the needs of students. We know our students very personally. We have the entire student body over to our house every Friday night for dinner, and we'll invite members of the church, pastors' college, pastors' families come over and join us. But it means we get to know our students really well. We have a good sense of what their needs are and how we can serve them. And Trinity College then is we are working to tailor the educational experience for our students. We want to help them to develop discernment, right? As we're getting to know our students, we're recognizing, okay, here's where this class is strong, here's where they are weak. We can focus in on aspects of the curriculum that they need the most help in. And so we're helping them to develop discernment for living wisely and Christianly in a culture that is adamantly opposed, vehemently opposed to the gospel and to the Christian faith. And so we want to prepare our students with discernment. And so we're walking them through, what does Scripture say on any number of topics. We're also preparing our students to be highly adaptable in a highly variable world. One of the beauties of a liberal arts education is it's not what it does is it does not prepare students for a very narrow, specific future vocation. It prepares them for a wide variety of occupations, a wide variety of interests, a wide variety of involvement in the workplace, in the church, in the home, in missions, whatever else. Because it prepares our students to think well, to read carefully, to communicate persuasively. So a liberal arts education has this beauty of being adaptable and adapting our students, preparing them to adapt to a highly changing world. And then finally, to graduate debt free. I mentioned this before, but again, we want our students to be able, as soon as they graduate, to be ready to take their place in the church, to get married, start a family, to move, to participate if they want in a church plant or in long-term or short-term missions overseas. We want them to have that kind of flexibility to go and serve the Lord and serve the church in wherever God is calling them to do that. So we have a couple different programs that make that possible. I've already mentioned the Bridge Year. The Bridge Year is a one-year certificate program. The idea is for high school graduates. That's one potential group it can serve as they're considering what they want to do for college. It's a great way to prepare for college, especially high school graduates that are not sure what they want to do yet. The Bridge Year is focused, one of the focuses of the Bridge Year is on Christian vocation. And so we take time to really think carefully about, what is vocation? How do you discern the callings? And I say that plural. How do you discern the callings that God has for your life? How those things might change over time? What you're looking for, how you would discern and recognize that. And so that process is really valuable. Now, the Bridge Year could also be really good for somebody who has just graduated from somewhere else and is unsure what they want to do yet. If you just finished a degree and a career track is not immediately presenting itself, and you're thinking, okay, that was really useful. I got trained, I got equipped, but I would really like to go deeper on a Christian worldview and understand now how all this training that I have is supposed to fit in the world. Well, it could be ideal to come to the Bridge Year. Bridge Year can also work as dual enrollment for high school seniors. So if you're a high school senior and you're prepared for the kind of academic challenge of the Bridge Year, we would love for you to enroll. If you are down to just a few classes, like a lot of high school seniors are, just need to knock out a couple things, maybe some electives, you can either take the entire Bridge Year program, all 5 classes, or enroll a la carte and take just the classes that you need to graduate or that most fit your needs, fit your schedule, or most interest you. And the Bridge Year then, for some students want to stick around at Trinity College and they want to continue on with this kind of liberal arts education and get either a 2-year associate's or a 4-year bachelor's degree. And I'd say, great. The bridge year is the first year of that 2-year or 4-year program, the freshman year. We are still in the process of building out these degree programs because we're only in our second year. And so we're still working out what all those classes would be. But we're excited about how the Lord is sending us professors, people who are qualified and very passionate about their field and are capable of teaching students on a really deep level, but in a very relevant and winsome way in these fields. So that's who the bridge year can serve, and who Trinity College can serve. And so if what I'm describing appeals to you, there are several options on what you could do next. First, if you're sold and you think, man, this is for me, apply now. No time like the present. On our website, very clear where to go. There's a button right at the top in the right hand corner. Click on that. You can apply. Our application is it won't take too long. You can do it pretty quickly, and we'd love to hear from you. If you're not quite ready for that, but want to learn more about Trinity College and our degree programs, visit our website or check out our social media spots. Look at YouTube. We've got a lot of videos like this one describing what Trinity College is about and what we do. And so we'd be very eager for you to benefit from the material that we put out there already. Thirdly, if you're not sure, if you're still not sure, you still have questions that you can't find answers to, reach out to us. I'd love to schedule a conversation with you. We can set up a Zoom or a phone call or just email or text back and forth. And I'd love to talk more and know how I can serve you as you are considering your college options and whether Trinity College and or the bridge year might be a good fit for you. So I look forward to hearing from you. I hope you'll do that. Again, www.trinitycollegelou.com. And that's where you can apply, you can learn more, or you can reach out to schedule a conversation. So I hope you'll consider attending a small college. I hope you'll consider attending Trinity College. And I look forward to talking with you more and learning more about your future and your college education. All right. Doesn't look like there are any questions or comments here. So we're going to wrap up. We have just a few minutes left, so we'll finish here. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us this afternoon for this webinar. And look forward to seeing you for the next one next month. Thanks so much. Wonderful. Have a wonderful